Modern Wolf.
Our Terran to the top left of Whirlwind was able to defeat Ragnarok. Now he's facing another Zerg player. Is he successful again? We'll find out. This is
FXOpen.
the Towel Terran, the nine-tailed fox for FXO, the last hope, the last Terran standing up against another Zerg. Starting to the bottom left in blue, we have for TSL a strong Zerg player in the lineup. He's called
TSL symbol.
Often a symbol of hope.
Yeah, not today.
Yeah, very strong Zerg player, a lot of talent. Sprung up suddenly. I remember everybody was talking about him after his Iron Squid performance, and since then he has really gone places.
He's gone to the semi-final on the GSL.
Now, Gumiho would go for a Command Center first here. This is a map where it's so rare to not see that build because it's a massive map. It could crush force fields even.
And we have a drone scout coming for Symbol, and Symbol is known to be a Zerg player that really loves to go double hatch before pool. Pool is the more likelier build, but it's definitely not out of the ordinary for him to do anything or something like it. And he scouts it. He scouts on the first position possible what his opponent is going to do. He can actually now just nom a little bit away at the SCD and try to delay the hatch and the command center, and he does. Is he sending out another drone? I actually think he does. We don't see the pull point. He's actually going for the double hatch.
Yeah, there's the drone going down.
He loves doing that. He really likes it. And you can get away with it so easily if your opponent does take this 14cc. There's just no way for him to be aggressive.
He, actually, we saw that TSL Zergs really like to do this strategy for a while, but we haven't seen it in a few weeks now, really, someone going double hatch before pool in the GSL, because I feel like even though it became more popular, people still like their safe openings. But when you are Symbol, and when you are ahead this far in a team match on a big map like this, it just makes everything lines up. It's like the perfect opportunity to go for this type of play. Gumiho even has his command center on the high ground.
And Gumiho is once again bouncing.
He does this bouncing thing when he gets a little bit stressed out. He was doing that yesterday, I noticed.
Yeah, when he was up against Boom Boom, he was bouncing like crazy. Like a bunny on speed. Oh, double kill. Not quite.
Yeah, but close enough.
Alright, so the pool is nearly done for Gumiho. He will be able to start a double queen. He's just waiting for the minerals.
And Gumiho still does not even know his opponent's location. He just scouted the top right. Everything is not going his way. The first thing that happened to him in this game was that he had to play against Symbol, and then things got worse from there.
Yeah, up against Symbol as your second opponent is of course always a little bit tough, and I really respect TSL's Coach Lee for this decision. It's just like this evil overlord list. You don't want to send, if you are one of the bad guys and there's this one hero that is somewhere in your kingdom and you know about him, then you don't want to send out small forces like really weak opponents and give him the chance to gain experience and to get better and better and better, and then suddenly he's overwhelming your toughest troops. No, you want to send out the elite soldiers first and make sure that he doesn't stand a chance. And this is exactly what Coach Lee was actually thinking. I bet with you that he was actually able to read, I think it's Peter's evil overlord list. If you don't know it, guys, check it out, because there is so much truth in it. If you ever want to conquer the world, you need to read it first.
What about this Overlord? Is he on the list?
The Overlord is probably on the list, I think so.
Yeah.
Sending out an Overlord to scout sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a really good idea.
It's something I have seen people do in StarCraft 2 sometimes.
Scouting is awesome. Go for scouting. We need Peter's evil StarCraft 2 list. Something like that.
Don't make an evolution chamber before your pool, even if your friend tells you to expand. Well,
now we have a lot of roaches. What does he have against those Hellions? One Zergling. Well, This has to be the hero Zergling. Think about that, some kind of a Yoda Zergling. Darting in and every single time there is the flame coming out, he just jumps. Well, this is not it.
I'm like,
he just died.
GG.
He just died. No chance. But Gumiho is not committing in any way to this attack. He's a little bit reluctant to expose his Hellions. He could have killed a few Harvesters here, or at least tonight mining time, but he does not know that Symbol doesn't have anything. And now we have a Baneling Nest coming out, a lot of Zerglings, extra Queens. A pretty decent economy here for Gumiho. He also gets the Evolution Chambers that he will need for his... He just needs his Spore Crawlers, because there is a Claw coming his way.
Yeah, and I think that... The thing is, even though the Cloak is done, or I mean it's going to be done pretty quick here, he's going to have so much time to prepare. With the Evolution Chambers finishing now, the Banshee has to fly all the way across the map. He will lose some Harvesters, very likely here. He's going to lose some Lings as well, because there was a nice choke point set up there. That was a really nicely defended situation by Gumiho. Cloak is not quite done, actually, in fact.
And the Spore Crawler will be there in time, but the Queens are still working at the Banshee. The Banshee is losing hit point after hit point, and this is definitely becoming a problem for Gumiho. The Banshee once again moving in, but now the Spore Crawler is ready, but not at this location. He needs to build another one, that's what he does.
His drones are being transferred. Takes out, I think, about 4 Harvesters there, 5. And he decides, nah, I'm not going to mess with that Queen.
More Spore Crawlers are being built, and this is not going to do too much damage. 5 kills in total. It's okay. It's decent.
He is making a Raven at home. And he's getting a 3rd Command Center as well. We may see Mech. He's not making any more Marines. I think that Mech is going to be what he's going for. He's got enough Hellions to defend against this Ling attack. He should be able to keep the Command Center, and the Lings don't even want to try it.
Banshee with the 5 kills is still alive. Working at the at the Zerglings now, but the Queen should be there. Oh wow, there are the Hellions.
Oh, this is actually really uncomfortable for Symbol right now, because he doesn't have an Overseer nearby. His lair's only halfway done. He's got to rely on Spores alone, so he can't actually be out here like this with his Queens.
Too many Banshees against the Queens now, that's for sure. Yeah. And as long as the high traffic is done.
Oh, this is a great move out here by Gumiho, and the Lings are just not enough.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough Zerglings, and of course the Queens are not able to deal with this many Hellions. They're awesome against them, but not against those numbers.
And he is really starting to work at them as well.
Transfuses, he's saving one.
Now he's running a little bit low on energy though, and he doesn't have to micro the Banshee, he only micros the Hellions here, and they are such a danger.
He just doesn't have the Overseers, and now the Zerglings try to commit, but they don't take down too many of the Hellions. Another bunch runs in and tries to close the gap, kills another 2, maybe another 3, but this is devastating. Economy-wise, Symbol is still a little bit higher with 54 to 48 Harvesters, but of course the Mules are also playing a huge role.
And one thing I want to say is Gumiho's not kept up his macro during this. He actually went up to a ton of resources, didn't make his Command Center into an orbital, made another Command Center instead. His factories here are way late, as well as his armories. Yeah, he can make them all at once to make his resources disappear, but this could have even been better for him. He was, I don't blame him for it. He was totally focused on his Hellions, because that was able to do a ton of damage for him. But what I'm trying to say is the situation could even be better for him than it already is. Burrow is on the way now, and this Overseer is so critical. He sees the triple factories. Now he can prepare the way he needs to. Starts Roach Speed.
+2/+2 also on its way. Goes for the Zergling attack upgrade. And right now we have 3 base against 3 base. We have the additional orbital for Gumiho. He is also ahead in the overall supply, which is a scenario that you really try to avoid as Zerg. Yes. 1,000 additional resources lost by Symbol, and Gumiho is playing this really well. Takes down another Queen and gets so much aggression onto his opponent.
Even the Raven joins in. And he could have...
He kills Speed Tumors. He just uses the Raven as detection.
The Roaches are a little bit late here. Could have made them a little bit sooner, but he hesitated, and now he's paying for it potentially. Slow Banelings here are on creep though, so that was actually really nice targeting on that tumor.
This is a pretty cool aggression by Gumiho. The Raven reveals the tumors, he takes them down, he forces the creep back. This is really well done, and he's going for +1/+1 now for his mech army as Thors. The Roaches are on their way. Will Gumiho be able to hit the timing here? I actually highly doubt it, especially since he doesn't have anything against those Banshees. He needs to have the Infestors out first.
The only reason why, or the only thing that you could argue that Symbol really has going for him in this game is that the base that he's taken is in the perfect position. And these two spawning locations, for example, had Symbols, or had Gumio spawn at the bottom right, this would be different. He wouldn't be able to take the space. But in these spawning locations, the space is great. It's going to be really hard for Gumio to find out about it. He won't probably send Hellions over there unless he knows about it. Which, by the way, he is sending a Hellion around the map to check things for the guys as well. He also is ahead in upgrades, but with mech upgrades, you can't quite, you can't kind of equate them to exactly what they are. 1-1 versus 2-2 is still a pretty decent spot for Gumio. He doesn't have an advantage in upgrades, but he's getting his upgrades out on time.
Yeah, another Hellion dies, but the Zerglings will not be able to take down all of them. Still a bit of a leak in overall supply for Gumiho, but Symbol is just working up, trying to work up a bank here. He needs to be careful against this though. The Banelings, what a bundle.
And I was about to mention that he hasn't got the Infernal Pre-Igniter, but he probably will not get it after he just lost all his Hellions.
And now we have the Hive done, nearly done. Greater Spire will follow.
But look at this.
These Banshees are really a pain for
he's
Symbol.
only going to be scared of Infestors with that Raven around because he can kill the Queens with point defense on if he needs to. He's got 2 available on that Raven.
He has like this panic button with the Raven now that he can use. The point defense drone against the Queen, helpful. Another base now also being built for Gumiho. 2 in fact. And Symbol right now is working at his back. He wants to have the Brood Lords, he wants to go for them. The Greater Spire is starting. He actually cancels Adrenal Glance. Goes for +3/+3 first because these upgrades will benefit not only the Zerglings but also the Broodlings.
Yeah, the Banshees here are going to be uncontested. He doesn't have any Infestors nearby. If this is not dealt with, he will lose the hatch. You can just cloak and ignore the Queen. There's no Overseer nearby either.
That's the cloak and the Queen will die. Nice burrow. Like
either way, he's not too concerned about the Queen. He wants the hatch, but nice move there by regardless. This army is pretty small right now. I feel like this move out may be a bit premature. I like the idea of pressuring, but this army, if it gets surrounded, cannot be replaced easily. Hatchery to the bottom right is killed.
And the 4th base established for Gumiho as mentioned earlier, so Symbol is a bit on that clock here. He needs to get this Broodlord play into action. And also, Corruptus would be great for him so that he can finally deal with the Banshees. A scan reveals the Queen.
Even one Corruptor would make this a more scary world for Banshees to live in. Obviously, you want more than that if you want to kill them quickly, but he would not have been able to do what he just did.
Army supply is fairly even. The upgrades are a little bit better for Symbol, but this is a very tense and close match. Right now, Symbol needs a 4th base. He wants to deal with his army. If he's able to crush the Terran forces, then he takes a nice lead, but this is very difficult for him to pull off. A lot of starports have been started for Gumiho, who just realizes that his opponent is going for a Broodlord transition, and now we have the Corruptus that will at least take down the Banshees. At least that is... Wow, look at how many we have. He's actually about to kill the Greater Spire.
Oh, he cannot save it. Even with the transfuse, it won't matter. Another Queen comes in. But it doesn't matter. He's gone. But his army is very small here.
And the siege tanks are not sieged up. They are out of position. Are they enough roaches though? Yeah, their siege mode isn't ready. He forgot about it.
Yeah, he totally did. He started it actually right as his battle started. All the Infestors survived, but he's got a big problem in his main base, and it's spelled B-A-N-S-H-E-E.
Where are the Corruptors? He built Corruptors. He can target down those units. There they are, but they won't be able to kill the Hive in time, and now it will take an eternity for him to rebuild the Greater Spire.
Gumiho is the definition of pressure in this game. He is going to lose, though, his Thors that are in the middle of the map. He realized probably that he would be surrounded by the next wave of Lings anyways, so he wanted to trade here. Both players taking heavy losses at this stage. Gumiho, though, with an insane economy, with all the bases he's taken, even has his planetary that's so close to his opponent. And that's exactly what you want to have in this type of scenario. A base that's close to your opponent so you can attack and defend at the same time.
There's another base headed to the top right. And the Blue Flame Hellion, yes, it's been taken down. Another scan has been used in order to just to reveal these units. Maybe with the Infested Terrans he's able to kill this, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
not with the mules repairing.
That was kind of a weird choice. I guess if he hadn't reacted, maybe that would have happened. But 7 more Infestors on the way, and now these Roaches become a more serious problem, as well as the new Infested Terrans.
And he needs to take down the mules if he really wants to kill this.
He needs to target those or funnel them at least. Maybe he didn't expect they would be alive that much longer. Even so, he's spending a lot of resources repairing this planetary. He doesn't have a gas bank right now, and since he lost so many units earlier on,
he might be able to save it. With the extra mules that he just called down, he is going to repair it. Look at it.
Really nicely done here by Gumiho. Supplies very close. Double hatch going down to the south. He needs both bases to be able to rebuild that bank. His hive is coming back in here, but he hasn't been able to use those rewards he wanted.
One infestor dies. Burrows immediately and gets out of here. Now that Banshee is down, and the Thor will... Yeah, same fate for the Thor, dies too.
You know, he's... imagine if he had those Broodlords attacking the planetary, how different this game would be. This is why Gumiho went for that Spire. This is a great decision that he made. The Extractors are going to be a little bit late for these hatcheries, but +1 is coming out for Infested Terrans and Roaches. I really like this choice. I feel it could have even been sooner, but regardless, it's going to be important. It's going to help him because Gumiho has 3/3 and building armor on the way.
The extra bases that Symbol is building have been revealed. The Hellions are still scouting on the map. This is what you can utilize them for later on. It's just so strong. These Fungals are always spot on. He sees the Hellion starting in before he loses anything with the blue flame. He is immediately going for Fungal and close the distance with the Zergling.
This game is getting freaky because he is continuing to build Infestors, and he has not lost really very many of his Infestors at all, so he's up to 15 now. This is one way to deal with mech.
The amazing thing is how many Banshees Gumiho is building. He's actually not hesitating. Not at all. He builds Banshee after Banshee, but by now Symbol figured out that there is a lot of air power for Gumiho, and he takes them down with the Corruptors. The only reason why the TSL Zerg is behind in overall supply is because he built this bank. He's waiting for the Greater Spire.
Exactly. You would have been able to have those Broodlords attacking the planetary. Or Hellions are trying to harass. Not very many drones here right now, even scans, because he thinks there might be some underneath, but there's only gas drones.
A scout is running to the top right, trying to spot an additional base, and he will see that there is another command center for Gumiho. The Hellions are once again dying, but they're doing a great job taking down Harvesters. In total, 28 Harvesters have been killed by Gumiho, only 6 by Symbol. The base at the top right, as mentioned, is revealed. Additional Spire is even built by Symbol right now. But this is such a close game. This is really so close, and now suddenly we have the ability for Gumiho to get Broodlords. It's gonna happen in time. Good Fungal, using the hit points on the Hellions already before the main battle starts.
So many Broodlords now. His planetary has building armor. These Lings, even though there's a ton of them, he does not stand a chance here.
I don't think he has Adrenaline.
Yeah, I don't think so. He does not.
He cancelled the upgrade earlier because he wanted to get the +3/+3 out faster, so he doesn't really have it, but the planetary is actually going to die either way. 9 Broodlords and not a lot of anti-air, even though there are so many starports. He has 7 Banshees, but he does not have the Vikings, and Symbol was able to keep all his Infestors alive. 15.
The hopes of FXOpen are looking pretty good right now with him able to take out these hatcheries to the bottom right. He is doing well against the toughest opponent he may have had to face today. And at this point, yeah, the Lings run-bys are nice. He did kill the planetary to the top right. The Broodlords are kind of like the final issue for Gumiho. If he can deal with these, he's already damaged the economy enough. But right now, he just doesn't have any Vikings. He's only got 1.
Oh, here come the Banshees, trying to make sure that the Infestor count is reduced, but he's not really able to pull it off. That's just too much, and now a mass repair on the planetary, whereas the Terran army is at the bottom right of the map, completely out of position. More Zerglings running into the third phase, taking down Harvesters. Harvester killed 47 by Symbol. He killed 41 SCVs over the last few minutes.
Now, there is a rule in that book you were talking about earlier, and it says, do not elimination race with mech armies on the biggest map in the pool. And so far, not only was he able to kill that planetary, but he walked his mech army all the way back across the map now to deal with nothing. There's nothing even there. It just takes so long, and he knows he can't actually try to eliminate his opponent because Broodlord's just going to fly back.
Gumiho is heavily relying on mules, whereas we have 100. The other supply is nearly only 20 SCVs left for Gumiho. He is relying on mules so much these days.
Yeah, and he's got, I'm trying to count his orbitals, I think he has 6 on the map left still, if I'm not mistaken.
This Infestor count is just so scary, Wolf.
Oh, he has even more than that. He's got 8 orbitals on the map.
That's kind of insane.
So it's really, your story is relying on the mules, but he's got enough gas to last him a really long time. He even pulled out of gas in several locations on the map because he's like, well, I don't actually need that right now. I need minerals. Mineral are my limiting factor here.
Every single time that he loses his army, he is able to close the distance and overall supply in just a heartbeat. Now we have a very intelligent move for Simple. He's going for Neural Parasite. With the infestor count that he has on the map, it is definitely a very good choice. He still has 13 infestors left and they have a lot of energy. He's not only relying on the infestor Terrans, he's just trying to get this depth army that will finally be able to take Gumiho down. His idea is to defeat the Terran army and then move right into the production.
Yeah, and with the situation that Gumiho has created for him at the bottom right of the map, every single energy unit really counts. We've seen this before. Bomber versus Freaky, it really comes to mind, where we had more than 30 investors that game. When you have a situation like that, it's really important to have energy units. Whoa! That was a scared Banshee's cloak, but doesn't really help him against Spores. Adrenal Gland's still not researched, but he's not really relying on Lings anymore.
The Banshees might die at the bottom left. I don't think he realized that they were moving, and now, oh, here come the Vikings. Where are the Fungals? No, only using the infested Terrans.
Yeah, he just wants to be a little bit more energy efficient here because he knows that with the amount of investors he has, it's going to be a pretty good spot.
Oh, good lord. All of the Vikings are gone. Even with the point defense drawn in position, it didn't matter. And now the infested Terrans are trying to hunt this army down. If there's one Fungal, everything is fine. And there it is. The Fungal is there, and the Brood Lords close the distance. They are slow, but they will eventually arrive.
They will indeed. More Thor shots on the Corruptors, but they're supported by the Roaches on the ground. And Gumiho's chances here are looking grimmer and grimmer. He's not able to land his orbital to the right side of the map. It's blocked by a Zergling. The base for the TSL Zerg is up at the left side.
The Banshees that we've seen at the bottom left, they have been killed by the Spore Crawler. They were focusing their hatches. Spore Crawler took all of them down. Gumiho is dropping in supply down to 87, and now he has no mining bases anymore. This one Zergling is blocking the mineral line, as Wolf just pointed out, and there's just not a lot of income for him left.
Yeah, you know, investors, you look at the supply, it's 129 tonight. It looks like maybe Gumiho can recover here, but when you think about how many infestors on the map, he's got 6 more on the way, 15 already out, that's 21 infestors. Infestors can break the law of conservation of mass. They can make something from nothing, and that is what they're going to do.
He's pulling all his SCVs, and this is not because he wants to free up supply. This is because he wants to repair his army and wants to have a little bit of a buffer here.
But with just a few Fungals, this is going to end everything. He could even use the Neurals he had from earlier if he wants to.
The Brood Lords are going strong. The Queens can transfuse. There's a bit of energy left, but the Queens are dead. Is Gumiho able to pull through here? It doesn't look like it. It looks like Simple is going to seal the deal, is going to win this team battle for his team. At 120 supply, he is more than doubling his opponent's overall supply and forces the last few Thors to retreat.
The Thors are on their way out of here, and so is Gumiho. A really great game by him here on Whirlwind. Mech composition, we talked about how that might be something he'd use. He used the Banshees really well. He had a very unique style. Was able to shut down his opponent's economy several times, but at the end of the day, the map being too big and the bases that Simple was able to secure were too much for him. He built that infestor count that was so deadly.
Simple is mining at the left side. He has triple the amount of supply. He's going for additional Zerglings, Brood Lords. He just has so much.
And Thor is popping those big hammer cannons there, but it's not enough. Thor goes down.
The last few mineral patches at the 3rd and at the 4th. Simple is just gearing up for a last attack, a last move into the heart of the Terran base. He's building additional expansions. Gumiho is moving to the top right with his orbitals. He still has the orbitals, he still has the mules available, but the army supply, that's the issue.
Four Hellions cannot change the world.
No, they can't. Take down a few units, but even the mass Fungal is something that Simple can't pull off here. He doesn't really need the energy anymore. He has so many infestors. He has 13 left, getting additional 4. Everything is dying. 37 supply against 120.
Yeah, it's a done deal. I mean, we're looking at production facilities that are not being used because there's no money to spend on them.
Simple knows that it is over, but he wants to be... I actually don't know
that
what he wants
is 20 fuels, 19.
That's pretty disgusting. The income.
Watch the income tab, yeah.
That is at least 3,000, maybe 4,000.
It is raising, but it's not going to be enough to get him back into this game.
Yeah, 3,000, that's it. For a short amount of time. Huge income.
Once the base mines out as well, you know, you can't use that anymore, but I don't think the game is going to go on long enough for that base to even mine out, even with that many mules on it.
He will have the bank, he will have the income, but the one thing that he won't have are the structures to produce. Unless Symbol completely neglects the base to the top right, is waiting too long, but I don't think this is going to happen. 7 SCVs produced at a time.
He's trying to rebuild that, but Symbol could just take the entire map now because it's under his control. He's could continue to spread his creep as well. It's something he's not doing, but 2 more drones being produced by him. He knows that his worker count is not where he would want it to be if this game were to continue in a normal fashion.
And circling to the top right. They will shut down the mining base for Symbol.
All the mules are dead.
Oh wow, we actually have a block at the space. That core is pretty awesome. Can be repaired on the other hand.
Yeah, so he can't quite get in there. That was pretty cool. You know, we talked about this before, actually. Gumiho is the scrappiest player alive. He has pulled something out of nothing several times, but I just don't think this is his day.
No. I cannot believe that a comeback at this point is possible if the Zerg...
He could just literally neural... He could neural an SCV and start messing around. That's how many infestors he has on the map.
Yeah, he can't be complacent and wait too long. This would be a mistake because there are too many command centers. But if he just attacks, and this is what he does right now, if he attacks the production structures of Gumiho, then there is just nothing that Gumiho can do, even with a huge bank.
He runs away from Banelings, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter because there's just hardly any SCVs over there to begin with.
He borrowed a Baneling into the line, which has been scanned and killed.
His
but now
production is sieged.
He walks up the ramp and he is killing everything here. He will kill the factories. Everything is just trying to get out, but we have Corruptors. The Spine Crows protect the mineral line at the mining bases for Symbol. Symbol is going to take this game. Using the Neural against the Thor. The second one. This is it. This is game.
Gumiho's units are not under his control anymore.
Literally.
He's actually still alive with those Thors, but the production is not going to be around much longer. He's floating away.
The Blue Flame Hellions at the bottom left might kill the Hive.
The best thing that Gumiho can do right now is to type GG.
There's nothing left for him to do. The bank is there for Symbol. He has the bases, he has mining. He is building more and more units. He's at 94 against 36. He could actually just build more units as we speak because he has so many minerals and also the gas. But he is just taking down everything in the main base of his opponent. Gumiho still tries to fight this out.
Symbol isn't even making anything right now. He has 17 larvae and he's got resources to make stuff, but he's like, well, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm just trying to eliminate his buildings. He's going to try to repair his Thor's mules, but it doesn't even matter.
Now the mules are being killed and this is it.
GG. TSL takes out FXOpen. Symbol came out as the serious player that didn't mess around, and Gumiho was not able to do it.
Congratulations to TSL. FXO at least was able to prevent the all-kill, but Gumiho not able to take down Symbol. He's a little bit sad. Yeah, he had a good shot at winning the game, and Symbol also realizes that this was quite a close call. But in the end, the TSL Zerg wins the match, and therefore we have a 5-2 score in the end for Team TSL.
And Colt looking happy. He's not feeling cold anymore. He took his jacket off.
That was a pretty hot game.
It was pretty hot. It was getting steamy at times, but Colt is, you know, just talking to the Symbol here, saying, "Good job. You know, you have to play today. You did what we told you to do. You asked to come out, and you delivered. Big map choice." Gumiho though played insanely well on that map.
Yeah,
he looked really good. It just wasn't enough though.
Especially when we finally had Corruptors and Overseers in the game, all those Banshees, they didn't do anything anymore.
The Banshees were really one of his best strengths there. He was able to also walk across the map and kill hatcheries with Thors, which is pretty rare, but...
At first, the Banshees were really awesome. They killed so much. They did take down Harvesters, they killed bases, they killed structures, the Greater Spire, the Hive. But then at some point, Symbol just made sure that he had enough Corruptors, that he had the Overseers, and the Banshees weren't doing anything anymore. So it was putting a little bit of pressure on his opponent, but Symbol played it quite well. He was struggling for a while, then stabilized. It was a really back and forth game. I liked it. It was really entertaining.
Yeah. That's how the cookie crumbles, though, at the end of the day here. FXOpen, the champions of last season, do lose here. They will go down to the consolation match. They're not out yet.
I would be really surprised to see Symbol being the MVP today, though. With Ragnarok winning 4 games, I think this time the last player who won a game is not going to be the MVP. Yeah, it has to be Ragnarok.
I think so. He was the story of the day. He was able to... Basically, Symbol was the star on top of the Christmas tree here of what Ragnarok already built. Really solid play from him, stopping anything that came his way.
The cherry on top of the cake. Right now we're just waiting for the interview to start with Coach Lee and with Ragnarok, most likely. But we're having a quick look at the match results before we are heading into the interview. There it is once again. We started things off with the Protoss versus Protoss that Shoya was able to win, but then it was Ragnarok. And yeah, well, his solo.
Yes. Ragnarok was definitely the story of today, playing against all odds. The only player who was able to beat him was Gumiho, who looked strong against Symbol as well, but at the end of the day, he was not able to take out the Zerg player from TSL. And as a result, TSL takes a lead here and is looking pretty good this season. One thing that you do when you do something like this as well is you don't show. You've got a bunch of players on the bench that don't have a lot of experience, yeah, but a lot of them don't play that often. Some of them are in the individual leagues. So if you don't put those players out, you don't show any of their strategies. So they just put Symbol in there, knock out his opponent, don't show any more strategies. It's over. And TSL has, I think, a lot more up the sleeve than we even saw today.
Yeah, they definitely do, and they will definitely show it in the future. Now we are having a short interview. Let's find out what Coach Lee has to say, and of course the MVP of the day. It is Ragnarok,
신희범 선수입니다. 축하드려요.
감사합니다.
네, 제가 알기로는요, 처음 받는 MVP인 걸로 알고 있거든요.
네.
기쁨이 2배가 될 것 같아요. 어떠신가요?
4 kills.
출전한 지
Just
별로
ask
안
them how he
되는데
feels about being the
이렇게
MVP
MVP
today.
와서 기분은 좋지만 올킬을 못해서
It's his first MVP, so he's really happy. He's a little bit all disappointed, of course, that he was not able to all kill.
잘하셨습니다.
I think if someone would have told him at the beginning, okay, would you be happy with taking down 4 players, he would have happily agreed. But now if you take down 4, you want to kill the 5th as well.
No, if I don't get the all kill, I don't even want to play. I'm out
제가
here.
긴장을 너무 많이
I'm
해서
going to join EG. I heard some Zergs doing that these days.
날빌류로 좀 이기긴 했는데 지금은 전에 코드 A를
The last time he played in the GSTL, he was a bit nervous.
상태라서
He tried to end the matches in the early stage, was able to show his full potential here.
레저에서 많이 해봐가지고 스타일을 알고 있었어요.
와, 오늘 말씀 너무 잘하시는 거 아니에요? 자, MVP 인터뷰가 처음이라고 하셨는데, 자, 오늘 하고 싶은 말
He was
다
able to play against
해주세요.
Tia in the last GSTL, so he really knew Tia's style, which is one of the things that helped him against the Protoss player.
강동현 형한테 좀 힘들게 좀 이겼잖아요. 그래서 그걸 넘겨줘서 좀 아쉬웠던 것 같아요.
아,
그냥
그렇습니다.
편하게 이겼으면은 지금 뭐 집에 가고 있을 텐데.
네.
그것 때문에 그냥.
He didn't really want Symbol to come out today. He had the match in his hands and he wanted to win it. That's why he's a bit disappointed here, but overall he's quite happy.
자, 그러면요,
And he can be
이윤재
taking down 4
감독님과 다시
opponents
한번
is
인터뷰해보도록 하겠습니다.
really an accomplishment
네,
in a match like
감독님,
this.
저를 다시
Of course, we have
만나셨어요.
Coach Lee as well.
4강전에도 또 뵙게
And she's just saying we did get to
자,
meet again
이윤재
after
감독
all.
드디어 4강에 진출을 했습니다.
Earlier you
너무
said he wanted to see the
기쁘실 것
interview with
같은데
Girl again,
어떠신가요?
implying of course they wanted to win the match. See what Coach Lee has to say here.
먼저 우민규 선수가 오늘
Making the right choice, I think,
네.
pulling
출전해서
Symbol
지금 자꾸
out, not waiting there.
이길 수 좀 심리적으로 좀 안 풀리고
He's happy that he
있어요.
won, but he's a little bit
힘을
sad
내서,
for
좀
Inori
실력
because
발휘를
Inori is
한다면
really not doing so well
잘
when he's sitting in the GSL booth.
좀 됐으면
He has a
좋겠고요.
lot of potential. He's doing well in the practice house, so we're going to keep using him. And he's just basically just saying, yeah, we won, but I want everyone to know that Inori is really a top-notch player, and it's disappointing that he wasn't able to show himself here.
결승 진출을 못하셨잖아요. 자, 이번 4강 좀 단단히 준비하셔야 될 것 같은데 이번 4강전을 임하는 각오 한번 들어볼까요?
저번에 4강 지니까 전승으로 올라갔었는데 4강 단일패만으로 떨어지니까 속이 무지무지 쓰리더라고요.
쓰리셨군요.
이번에는 진짜 이를 악물고 선수들과 동참.
They won all their matches up to the semifinals last season.
제일 빨리
They felt
올라갔으니까
really bad about that, so this time they really want to win and advance to the finals.
좋은
We've got a lot of time to prepare.
네, 열심히 준비해 주시기 바랍니다.
So
자, 4강전
basically,
상대가 아직
straight up answer
정해지지
there. Of course, they want to go to
않았잖아요.
finals, but they
확실한 거는 이제
they kind of get a
B그룹에서
bad
만나는
taste in their mouth
건데요.
after losing
자, B그룹에
round
제가
4
보니까
last
정말 막강한
season.
선수, 팀들이 굉장히 많습니다. 자, 특별히 붙고 싶은 팀들이 있다면 어떤 팀이 있을까요?
Which team do you want to face, of course, in the semifinals from Group B? And Coach Lee's thinking about it
IM과
here.
저희 팀과의 이런 대결을 보고 싶어하는 분들이 있더라고요.
IM, 네.
When I was looking on the forums, the fans actually wanted to see LGIM versus TSL.
이길 때는 엄청 힘들게 이겼었어요.
And a lot of fans were saying they thought it would be a fun match, and I would agree with that.
Yeah, me too.
Last season, Symbol was able to all-kill LGIM. It was reverse all-kill, in fact. So he really wants to face LGIM again. It's going to be exciting.
Be a little bit surprised though that would happen again.
That would be
자,
that would
이상
be quite a
FXOpen에
shock.
걷고 4강전에 오른
By the way,
TSL과
did you notice
만나봤는데요.
that
사실 제가
Coach Lee had a polka dot tie?
No.
I noticed that.
Okay.
Think about that. Coach Lee in a polka dot tie. He doesn't wear the sweater, but he brings the polka dot tie. I think he's really thinking about this. He's like, I want to wear a subtle thing on my outfit every time. They're going to notice it.
Well, let's have a look at the next GSTL.
Yeah, let's take a look at our list of matches. Obviously, it's going to be LGIM against StarTale. This has been rescheduled. It's not going to be tomorrow, so sorry to disappoint you, but you can watch WCS Asia and enjoy it instead.
This is going to be an epic game. This is going to be so cool. It's the match that I expected for the finals. We have it already here. And next week, it's going to be, guys, definitely make sure that you're going to watch this live. You don't want to watch the beauties here. Yeah. Watch it live immediately.
So
that's basically it for today.
That basically does wrap it up. A great day of matches we saw.
Zerg's going strong for TSL as expected. Ragnarok, not the player that we assumed would make such a splash in the match, but still he played really well and he deserved all the wins that he got. FXO lost only 2 map wins. So this is
make sure you check out Code A's third round. Whoever wins those matches will go to custom. I'm not read all those players' names for you, but you can look those up later. Don't forget to watch WCS Asia finals as well. Code S finals are going to be on October 20th at CoX, as you can see here. MVP versus Life. If you haven't watched the semifinal VODs either, I definitely recommend getting a premium ticket and buying that and watching them.
Yeah, and that's it for today, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.